Human. That is what we identify ourselves as. A creature that breathes, talks, walks, eats, and sleeps. People may say that we are all the same. Well, yes, they are right. We have the same build, but also, that's a false accusation, because not every human understands what it means to be humane. Being humane is characterized by tenderness, compassion, and sympathy, especially for the suffering and distressed. The generation I'm growing up in, we do not get a full grasp on what compassion, sympathy, and tenderness really is. I will admit, when I was a young girl growing up, I never truly understood what those words meant until one day. Just those few hours in that day changed my life for the better. Growing up, I witnessed a lot of people who were selfish, conceited, and disrespectful. My parents always taught me to treat people with respect and honesty. But who am I kidding? I never listened to them. I grew up in a place where kids, including myself, did not have much sympathy for others, and everything revolved around the newest toys. My family is the type of family that works for all the fine objects we have today. Growing up with my parents being divorced, rarely seeing my father, I asked my mom for anything and everything. My mother is a humane person. She gives up everything for me, and I mean everything, including her freedom. She is superwoman in my eyes, coming to my rescue in a time of need. My mom also teaches me to be proud of my heritage and embrace it. Being a kid, I was very embarrassed of being a Latina because I didn't want to feel less than anyone. I was mostly a nightmare for my mother, a kid that didn't want to embrace her heritage and was, let's face it, I was a brat. My mom wanted to teach me a good lesson and give me an understanding about what it means to be a good person. She decided a good way for me to discover what it means to be humane was to send me to stay with my grandparents in Dominican Republic. At first, I was skeptical, like has my mom gone delirious, sending me to a place where all I would want to do was go swimming and tan. But little did I know, I wouldn't be doing any of that stuff. My grandparents did not speak English, but I spoke enough Spanish to understand them. My grandma says, ayudar a otros le dará un corazón generoso y difundir las felicidades, which means helping others will give you a generous heart and spread happiness. When my grandmother told me this, it ran over and over and over in my head. I kept trying to translate it, but it just wouldn't work out, so I kind of just let it be. The day was upon me, the day that changed me, the day that made me human, but I just didn't know it yet. I woke up and came downstairs to see my grandparents preparing cake and food. We were going to a poor town nearby that's in need of many things. Me being the ignorant kid I was, I sighed after what I was told. Driving up the mountain, one kid came running to the car, then another, and another, until I saw about 15 kids running to the car. There were resilient smiles on their face. I just couldn't resist the urge to smile back at them. We got out of the car, and the kids kept hugging us and jumping with excitement. Keep in mind, I've never met these kids before, and I was never one to hug a stranger. My grandparents gave me the basket of food to hand out, and the excitement they had just to receive the food alone was astonishing, heartwarming. There was a little girl who grabbed my hand and showed me around to see what the inside of her house looked like. They did not have many material objects, nor many of the necessities. These families worked to live, not like us, who live to work. My eyes were cleared up from the fogginess covering them. This hit a soft spot in my heart. These kids had nothing but old, run-down houses, donated clothes, and barely just enough food. But they make it their will to always be happy, and not to think about what they want, but what they do have. And what they do have is their family supporting them. These children enlightened me, showed me a whole new side to the world that I did not know existed. Guru Perez once said, sometimes we make being happy so difficult, and being thankful such a chore. Starting the day like a job we hate, beginning it like swallowing 10 tablespoons of devil-made cough syrup, because somehow, along the way, we forget that being alive and healthy are happy, noble goals, or just good ideas, and that the opposite of being alive is being dead. What a choice. Man, was he right. What a choice. I realized what the choice was. The choice was to be human and live every day like it's your last. I realized that life wasn't about fulfilling the needs of wasteful objects, but fulfilling the needs with the love of others. They taught me to have sympathy for other people. They made me be compassionate about others, and most of all, they taught me the true meaning of what it means to be human.